You open a messaging app for one harmless reason. Maybe you need to check an address, download a file, or reply to one person. Before you can leave, another message appears, "Hey." Since you're online, that sentence reveals how much power a tiny green dot has gained. It does not simply tell people that your device is connected. It suggests that you are present, free, attentive, emotionally ready, and willing to talk. In seconds, a technical signal becomes a social promise you never made. Online status indicators were created to solve a real problem. In face-to-face life, we can see whether someone is busy, rushing, or trying to concentrate. Digital communication removes those clues. So presence indicators try to bring one back. Microsoft describes its presence feature as showing a user's availability and status. Green means available, while other colors indicate busy, away, offline, or do not disturb. The status may be calculated from app activity, computer use, calls, meetings, and calendar information. The problem is that available is a dangerously broad word. A person can be online while reading, sitting in class, calming a child, eating dinner, or recovering after a long day. The app sees activity. Other people see opportunity. The dot shows digital activity, but the human brain adds a larger story. They are there. They have seen the phone. They can answer me. Once that assumption appears, silence begins to look deliberate. Before online indicators, a delayed reply had countless innocent explanations. Perhaps the person had not checked the app. Perhaps their phone was in another room. Perhaps they had no internet connection. The green dot removes those comfortable possibilities. Now the sender may think, "You were online, so why didn't you reply?" That question turns waiting into judgment. A short delay can feel like rejection. Someone may start checking your status repeatedly because the indicator creates a mystery. You were active 3 minutes ago. You are active again. You still have not answered. What does that mean? Usually, it means very little. Present systems are imperfect representations. A person may be logged in on several devices. An app can remain open while attention is elsewhere. In Microsoft Teams, presence can depend on which device was used most recently and can automatically shift according to activity or whether an app is running in the background. It is a calculation, not a direct measurement of someone's willingness to communicate. But socially, the dot is treated as evidence. Researchers have found that online status indicators do more than report behavior, they can influence it. In research publicized by the University of Washington, people sometimes went online partly to project the right status to others. Users were not always opening an app because they wanted to do something there. They were managing how their presence or absence might be interpreted. That is where a convenience feature becomes a trap. You are no longer simply communicating. You are performing availability. You may feel pressure to clear every message because people can see you. You may avoid opening the app to prevent expectations. You may switch off your status, then worry that appearing offline looks suspicious. You may reply faster than you want to simply because the sender knows you are nearby. This pressure is powerful because it is rarely stated aloud. Most people do not say, "Your green dot means you owe me an immediate response." The expectation hides inside jokes, follow-up messages, workplace habits, and relationship tension. I saw you online. You disappeared. You had time to post, but not reply? Each sentence quietly teaches the same rule: visible activity must be explained. At work, the green dot can become a digital attendance light. Remote and hybrid work made presence tools useful, but they also made them easy to confuse with productivity. A worker who is thinking, reading, sketching, making a phone call, or working away from the keyboard may appear inactive. Another worker may look available while accomplishing very little. Yet the simplicity of green, yellow, and gray encourages people to treat status as a clean measure of effort. This is why some employees become anxious when their status changes to away. The concern is not really about color. It is about what the color might imply: that they are absent, slow, uncommitted, or difficult to reach. The result can be performative busyness, moving the mouse, checking messages repeatedly, or staying digitally visible instead of doing deeper work. Researchers use the term workplace telepressure for the urge to respond quickly to work messages and the preoccupation with response time. A study by Larissa Barber and Alicia Santuzzi found that telepressure predicted burnout, poorer sleep quality, health-related absence, and more email responding even after other work demands were considered. More recent research describes a related pattern: hyperconnectivity. In a 2024 study of employees' experiences, researchers identified pressure to remain available, information overload, fear of missing out, and eroding work-life boundaries. Participants described constant connectivity becoming normalized as a workplace rule, even when it caused stress and made it difficult to leave work behind. The green dot cannot create an unhealthy culture by itself, but it gives that culture a scoreboard. It makes invisible expectations visible. It provides a signal that coworkers, friends, partners, and relatives can monitor, misunderstand, and use as evidence. The same mechanism appears in personal relationships. Online status can create closeness because another person seems present in the same digital space. Seeing a friend online may invite conversation. Seeing a partner active may feel reassuring. But reassurance can easily become surveillance. When someone is already anxious, status information offers endless material for interpretation. Why did they go offline after I messaged? Why are they active so late? Why are they online but not speaking to me? The dot cannot answer those questions. It only keeps them alive. A green dot feels precise, but it lacks context. It tells you just enough to form a conclusion and not enough to know whether that conclusion is fair. Instead of reducing uncertainty, it can create a new kind of uncertainty, one that invites constant checking. The American Psychological Association reported that people who constantly checked electronic devices experienced higher average stress than those who checked less frequently. The survey did not prove that status indicators alone caused that stress, but it showed the broader cost of living in a state of continuous digital monitoring. Breaking the trap requires separating visibility from obligation. Being online does not mean being free. Reading a message does not mean having the energy, information, or emotional readiness to answer it. Posting something publicly may take 10 seconds, while replying to a sensitive conversation may require thought. A person can care about you and still choose not to respond immediately. Healthy communication leaves room for delay without punishment. At work, teams can state response expectations instead of letting colored dots define them. Urgent matters can use an agreed channel. Ordinary messages can remain asynchronous. Managers can judge results rather than keyboard activity and avoid expecting instant replies after hours. In personal relationships, stop using online status as a lie detector. Ask directly when something matters. Do not build a case from timestamps, activity indicators, and imagined motives. Digital signals are too crude to carry that emotional weight. Remember what the green dot actually means. It means an app-detected activity. That is all. It does not mean the person is ignoring you. It does not mean they are ready for a conversation. It does not mean their time has become public property. It does not turn access into consent. The most powerful traps in technology rarely feel like traps. They arrive as small conveniences. A read receipt, a typing bubble, a streak, a notification badge, a green dot. Each promises more connection. Then, quietly, each introduces a new expectation. The green dot was designed to show presence. We turned it into proof of availability, then transformed availability into duty. The way out begins with one forgotten boundary. A person can be online and still be unavailable. Being online doesn't mean being available. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear that.